I just thought it's worth showing you this Renault Clio. I just thought it's quite a nice little thing to show you. Right, so this car was going to be scrapped. Right, admittedly, it's out of MOT or nearly out of MOT, and it's been somewhere to have the idle speed thing looked at. It's not idling, not taking over properly, and whoever has looked at it said it's scrap metal, chuck it away. Right, so but I've looked at the car and I don't see anything wrong for it for MOT. The only thing I cannot check is the emissions, but everything else looks all right to me. I think it's going to pass. I have a few advisories. It's an '09 plate car, 93,000 miles, so it might be worth saving.
Which model is this?
Renault Clio, 1.2 petrol. It's an ideal first car for loads of people in the country, right? So I just want to show you. Hang on, let's go back to the. Let's go back a minute. All right, I just want to show you because it's very difficult to replicate things sometimes. But it came in, it was revving, racing on the RPM, a bit like that. But there's a light on. It sounded a bit different to this, but it's slightly difficult to replicate something sometimes. Anyway, this is how it was sort of running when I got it. All right, so you need to, basically you can have an air leak. There's several things that can cause idle speed problems, but when I looked at it, the engine management light was on. So you know it's doing it. See, this is what it does. Right, so this is ticking over. My foot's not on the accelerator. This is what it's doing. Right, so let's switch that off. Right, so to start with, you've got an engine management light on. Right, so we've got to start somewhere. So the best thing to do is just to plug a diagnostic tool in and just see what's going on. Right? Right, so I mean, there's loads of these around. It's a snap-on one. I quite like it because it's quick, but it doesn't do everything. Right, so immediately when we look on here, right, we have throttle potential throttle body problems. Track 1, track 2. It says here there's issues with the throttle body. So we can delete these fault codes and restart the engine and do it and make sure they return. And I've done that and they do. I won't go through all that. So basically it's saying there's a problem with the throttle body. All right. So we'll go out. Now, I know that there's, when I had the garage, when I ran a business, I know that throttle bodies was quite a common thing on Clios. They're not coded to the cars, so it could be something to do with the wiring or the ECU. It can be many different things causing the problem. But like I said, often I've replaced throttle bodies several times. Right, so I bought this on eBay, and it was £18 delivered. Right, so hopefully it's a working throttle body. There we are, and it's £18. Right, so for 18 quid, is it really worth spending hours testing the ECU and the wiring from the ECU to the throttle body, or just play part start, as I call it, and buy one for 18 quid delivered and put it on?
So what does that actually do, sorry?
Right, this is a motorized throttle body. This adjusts your the RPM and the idle. This is just what used to be connected with a cable years ago from the accelerator pedal. It's all done electronically now.
So you think that could be the issue with this car?
Yes, because I've had it before. Because I've had it several times before. I think it's worth, and it says it's got fault codes with the track 1 of the throttle body. I think it's worth putting one on.
And this can be quite a common problem with these cars.
Yes, it is. Yes, it's quite common on Clios.
So if the subscribers, the viewers, just say, that's the problem, it could be this. So it could be worth for that type of money.
For 18 quid, you can't expect garages to do it. A lot of garages don't like fitting second-hand parts because then they're liable if it goes wrong in 6 months' time. But there's nothing to stop you from buying one. It's your car, and they're not coded to the vehicle, so you can just put it on.
So you're going to show us today how to fit it and test it?
Yeah, I'll just show you, because this had another little fault. So I just wanted to share this with you, because hey, this car was going to be scrapped. I don't know what they'd done with it before, but they weren't going to bother with it. All right, so
So you're now
right. So now,
Chris Carr's recycling.
And we'll just get the air filter housing off. Right. You go that side and I go. There's a little there's a plug in behind. I'll show you how to remove that in a minute, perhaps. So just rip this off. It's only held on by 4 bolts, so it's not difficult. There's loads of these around 1.2 petrol engines. Must be thousands of them left in the country. They're ideal little first car for somebody. Right, so I'll put it back on. Right, you just got to push that clip down to release the block connector. All right.
Yep.
Right, so that's off. All right. Yeah, look, there's one. Here's one I made earlier. Right, so there's, just so you know. Right, so push that clip down, and then you can just pull it off. All right, but you must depress that one. So the last thing you want to do is be breaking the clips off, because then you can't clip it back onto the body, and then you've got to get cable ties and wrap it around to try and hold the block connector on. It's a real botch, and then you get more problems because you haven't got a very good connection, and on it goes.
So just be careful on, because plastic could snap, but if you move it the wrong way.
And I had a mechanic that was heavy-handed, and often he'd break it off. Sometimes he'd break bits off, and then you just making more problems. All right, so just depress it as you should do, and put it and remove it. I've got the replacement throttle body. Make sure the surfaces are clean. All right, and that's plastic. There won't be any corrosion on there.
The air will come in through there.
Yeah, the air comes in through.
That's like the old top of a carburettor, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. In the throttle.
Butterfly valve.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, yeah. When you depress the accelerator, it'll open the throttle butterfly like that. Right? When it's in an idle position, it'll be there somewhere when the car's idling.
So that's what we think the old one had errored.
Yeah, because it came up with track 1 on the throttle body. There's a good chance that this is faulty. All right, so just put it on. And try it. Obviously, there's a chance that second-hand one you're buying might be faulty, but I would rather buy a second-hand one than a.
How much was a new one?
I don't know how much a new one is, to be honest. And you could get the recon ones, but I don't rate them. There's too much grief for that because they're often not. They're not made properly. I can't say that with everything, but sometimes they are. Right, hang on. Just get a spanner, just to try, just to make sure they're tightened up right. That's it. That's fine. They don't need to be very tight. Just nipped up. Right, put that on. Right, so now we'll leave the air filter housing off for a minute. All right. I don't know if you can. And we'll just erase the fault codes and see what's going on. All right, you've got ignition on. Clear codes. I do like these snap-on ones are really quick. They don't do everything. They haven't got massive coverage, but they are very quick tools to use. Sorry, clear codes completed. Right, so then you can go back then to see what codes are in there. There should be none in there, no codes present. All right, so all the codes that were in there have been deleted. We just start it up. Right, so now that the engine management light's gone out now, right, and so we'll put a throttle body on, and there's no fault code, no lights left on here now, right? So this is what confused me a little bit, because now it's still. I put the throttle body on, and it's still doing this. It's still ticking over.
Madly.
Yeah, like 1500 RPM. I thought, well, perhaps it's a second-hand, perhaps it's a faulty throttle body that upon a second-hand throttle body, or it could be many other things. An air leak, it could be many things. It could be wiring, ECU, and I thought, I don't quite know what to do now. I don't know which way to go. I'll just show you my thought process. I've got to see what Nathan wants in a minute. All right? So then, right, it's a good idea to isolate like the brake servo circuit and the carbon canister circuit. All right, so just disconnect them and bung the holes, and then you eliminate those both circuits. I mean, if you had a brake servo leak, you'd probably hear it, but you know, it's just then you're actually guaranteed. If you disconnect them and plug them and start the car, you know that it's not those two circuits that's giving you the problem. Right?
Yep.
Right. So now we've got a vehicle. I've got a vehicle now that's better, but it's not right. All right. It's still idling far too rapidly to drive. Right. So what you can do, you can get brake cleaner or carburetor cleaner. I prefer a brake cleaner because it's not as volatile as carburetor cleaner. Right, and you spray it around the surfaces of the manifold, where the manifold, or anywhere there might be an air leak. Right, so I've done all this. I'm just trying to demonstrate roughly what you do. But you just spray in around where the maintenance surfaces, where it joins the manifold, and all around. And if you've got an air leak, it'll increase in RPM. I just try and demonstrate. No, get that bit. They'll often rev up. You'll notice a change. If it's an air leak and you squirt brake cleaner around it, it'll change notes. You'll know instantly it's a problem. Like I've done all that with this, and I can't find an issue.
When you say an air leak, you mean it to be ingesting?
Sorry, an induction leak, a vacuum leak. That's what I mean. Sorry, not yes. It's a leak from the manifold depression from vacuum.
So it will be taking the brake fluid in, revving it
yes,
higher,
thank
so
you.
You'll find a leak.
Yes, that's right. Yes, indeed. Right, so I've done all that, and I can find a leak. So what I do sometimes, I turn it off now. Right, so I'm reasonably happy there's no air leak, but you can never guarantee with flipping cars. There's always you never guarantee 100%. So what I do is I've got a Smoke Pro. There's just a leak detector. Where's the I had it. Where's the bloody rubber thing with the pipe on it? Ah, right. So I can't demonstrate exactly because I've got the wrong connector for the airline. But you plug an airline into it. Right, put that on in induction. I actually took the throttle body off. I took the throttle body off. Put that in the end of the manifold. Right, and then this machine, you plug it onto the battery, plug it into air, and it creates smoke. It makes smoke. Should I do it?
Yeah, go on.
Right, but I have to get another end for the. Hang on. We might as well cut it a minute, and I'll just. Right, so this is the leak detector that produces smoke. So what you do is you put it in the manifold, or put it wherever you can get this cone, so it seals. And I couldn't get it to seal here because the throttle butterfly is in the way. So the best thing to do is remove the throttle body and then put it straight into the manifold. Right. So all you do is just put that one in and just fill it with smoke. Right. Just plainly. So if you've got a leak, if you fill the manifold with smoke, if you've got a leak somewhere, you'll see the smoke coming out of wherever. So I'm trying to make sure the gasket in the manifold is all intact. Make sure there's no cracks or anything in the manifold. And then, like I said, 99 times out of 100, it'll come out. You'll see the smoke, or more than that. You'll see the smoke coming out of the crack. Just on very extremely rare circumstances, there's only 2 or 3 psi of pressure behind this, and if you've got, sometimes it won't show a crack because you sometimes need the heat and vibration and pressure or vacuum to open the split slightly. So, 990 times out of 1,000, it's all right, but there's just one time it might bite you on the backside. But generally, this works well.
nice machine. Have you ever thought of taking that one home, Chris?
I say it is a good machine. Yes, it is. I don't know what I'll do with it at home, but right. So where are we? Right. So I was quite happy. There's no air leak. Right. So then I thought there could be a faulty new throttle body because it's only second hand, like I said. But then I thought I will just inspect the breather pipes, right? Because wherever they are, I've got some here. They easily come off. I just thought I will just actually inspect the breather pipes just to make sure that this is exactly the same as what's on there, just to make sure they're all right. And when I was taking it to bits, right, I pulled the pipe off, and this piece, that piece fell out of the pipe, which is a restrictor for the breather system. So I thought, well, perhaps it fits in this connector here, but it doesn't. All right, where it fits is in the manifold, in the inlet manifold. Right, so this tiny piece fits in there. I don't know how it came out. I would have thought with the vacuum it would have stayed in place, but anyway, somehow or another it came out. So yeah, so this restrictor fits in that manifold, right? So I don't think you can see, but at the moment you can't see, but at the moment there's a 4 or 5 mil hole in this pipe, and this is a vacuum. This is the vacuum for the breather system, right? So it should have a restrictor, but most of them do have restrictions, and that is probably, well, I don't know, less than a mil, isn't that?
Yeah.
So obviously, yes. So just that should be inside the manifold. It should stay in there. It should be.
How do you think that came out?
I don't know really. I'm not sure. It's one I can't really answer. Right. So put that one on there. Right. Put the air filter housing back on. Connect the breather. Tighten the clip. How much Mackenzie? And then we will start the car. Yeah, I thought I'd retired. I thought I had. But I'm being dragged out of retirement. Right, start the car.
That's how you fixed it.
Spot on. Right, so what you need to do, what you can do, is reset adapted values. We should reset adaptions on using a diagnostic tool. Just to reset the position of the throttle body. But I can do that, but that's another thing. I'm just trying to show you that that the idle speed is correct. Idle speed is right now, and that's fixed the car. All right, that's all running.
That small part was the problem, is it?
Yeah, that little tiny restrictor is the problem. So if that falls out and this goes somewhere else before you fix it, and they take the pipe off and lose that piece on the floor, then you're not to know it's in there. So that is the problem. That is the problem. All right.
And that's all fixed now.
It's all absolutely spot on.
So
this car has basically cost. Well, this car has cost £18 so far for the part and time and labour, obviously, to fix it. But that's all it's cost. And I say if it goes through MOT with very little wrong, it's a cheap car. It's well worth putting right. Right, and so I hope that helps somebody.